Cryophobia by Lefty Has Hope. Chapter 3. Who was I to kill them? Your point of view. Can they bring back Toriel? Toriel? Toriel! She's the queen. She can fix things. Human, wake up. Toriel needs you. Toriel... You sit up. You're in a slightly different place. There are drag marks in the dirt from where you were being pulled by the monsters. Well, you're definitely going to feel that later. For a second, breathing doesn't come easy to you. Your chest feels like it's being pushed on. Sitting up, you realize that a Vegetoid is bouncing on your chest. What a dick, you think. But treat him kindly. He must be awfully scared. All the monsters that are surrounding you right now as well. The Frogget from before nudges you. You feel a strange connection to it, as it's the first monster you ever met and used your power on. Turning, you look into his eyes and nod. Slowly you stand up. Your head feels light and dizzy. Visions of snow and death flash before you, but you stand strong. Please, lead the way to Toriel, you say. Frogget hops forward and starts leading the way. Nobody else really follows, except Whimsum a second later, but she clings to Frogget's side. The two seem inseparable. You three don't say much to each other. Even if they tried talking to you, the way all the other monsters in the ruins are looking at you is really creeping you out. Most are standing in the shadows, almost glaring at you. You're confused. Every single one of these monsters, they're alive because of you. Where's the gratitude you deserve?
Ribbit. I know what you're thinking, human. Ribbit, you're confused because they aren't welcoming you, right?
How he knew so easily, you aren't sure. My name is Robin, not human. And yes, I'm confused. I saved you all. Shouldn't they be glad? Whimsun meekly speaks up. She's trying not to cry, you can tell. Whimsun reminds you of Frisk when they were very young. Frisk never speaks now, but back in the day it was even worse. Frisk was quiet, and when people tried to talk to them, they would burst into tears. They're scared of you. You look similar to someone who came a long time ago. Plus, we have faint memories of humans taking away our loved ones. She stops speaking and turns away.
Ribbit. And the experience we went through. We're all very grateful, but we monsters do not show our gratitude in the same way humans do, it seems.
Why not? You ask grumpily, sounding more like a 4-year-old than your actual age. Respect is something earned, not just given, and you definitely aren't acting like you deserve any ounce of respect. Don't you treat people with kindness? Tell them thank you? A simple thank you would suffice, seriously.
You have much to learn from our kind, Ribbit. We've learned to be wary of all humans. You put us down here, and many of us still don't want to show you mercy or spare you.
We're really sorry. They should welcome you. Toriel, once you bring her back, she'll want to meet you. Whimsun lets out a strange chime sound. We're here. A large room opens up before you. There's a dying tree in the middle, and at the base there's ashes. A cute little house stands tall behind the tree. It fills you with sudden determination. The ashes at the base of the tree belong to Toriel, you're sure. You glance at Frogget, and he nods. Okay, you say awkwardly. Suddenly, all the power you had before you escaped you. How did you do this again? Frogget nudges you forward.
Robin, when you did it the first time, you touched the ashes. Ribbit. Try that again.
Kneeling, you place your hands into the ash. It's a strange feeling, knowing that this used to be a monster. Now you notice all the small aspects of your strange reset power. You're not in hysterics now, or confused. So, taking your time, you close your eyes and focus. Toriel's a lot harder to bring back. There are so many different pasts that she affected. Your hands begin to tingle. The ash swirls up and begins to shape into a goat woman. Reaching back further, you take a peek at what happened. There's a masked human. They have a small knife in their hands. A stick is discarded to the side, tossed into the leaves. The child has no use for something that can't hurt others. With shaking hands, they raise the knife towards the goat in front of them. Toriel is looking fearful, but she's trying to stay calm. She's holding blue fire in her hand, extending it to the child. You hear her pleading with the child. Deep down, you know it's Frisk that's threatening Toriel, but you don't want to believe it. Frisk would never do anything so drastic and cruel, but the past tells otherwise. And in the end, the past is really the only thing you can trust. The kid rushes towards Torio, knife extended. You don't want to see anymore. With all your power, you reach out and yank Toriel away from it. Then, with a surge of power, you focus it on the present. It's all quiet for a second, and then there's a loud gasp. You open your eyes slowly, still kneeling. Toriel is staring at you with mute horror. She scoots away. Her back hits the tree, and her hands fly up to protect her face. Frogget and Whimsun look confused, both starting to talk to Toriel. Miss Toriel? You ask. Even though you remember Frogget's speech on how monster gratitude is different from humans, this is absurd. Why is she acting like it was you in the vision? You're far older than Frisk is. There's no way you could be mistaken at the age you're at for someone so young. Or maybe that's pretentious thinking. Frisk? Kara? She asks. You shake your head, scooting forward and extending your hand. Toriel flinches away. You keep your hand out, hoping she'll realize that you won't hurt her. My name is Robin, you say. I'm looking for my friend, Frisk. They fell down here. I'm trying to find them, and all I found was a bunch of death. Your lip wobbles, and Toriel's face softens. She reaches out and takes your hand. It's okay, my child. Let us go inside and talk this over, shall we? You keep hold of her hand tightly. On accident, however, your mind wanders. A vision flashes before your eyes. There's a large door. Toriel sits on one side, holding a book. She looks happy. A knock sounds at the door. If you could scream in a vision, you would. The knock scared the hell out of you. Toriel giggles. Who is there? She asks. A voice comes from the other side. You're immediately intrigued.
Who?
The voice is comforting, and you don't even know the source. It's a male voice for sure. While it isn't overwhelmingly deep, it isn't high either. It's got a certain pitch and tone that you can't put a finger on. As a completely off-topic thought, you want to hear him sing. Who? Toriel asks. What are they doing? Just telling jokes? It's kind of sweet. You wonder what it would be like to meet the joke teller. But you can't retrace his path in the past unless you touch him or see him. Frustration overwhelms you. Where he should be in the timeline is just a blank. Toriel isn't helping. Her path hasn't let her see him. Patience. You never had much of that.
I didn't know you were an owl,
he says, tying up the joke. You crack a smile and laugh. Toriel bursts out laughing. Her reaction shocks you. They both must be joke lovers. You tell some jokes yourself, but your humor is more sarcastic than anything. Frisk always teased you about that. They'd crack cute puns, and you'd be laughing at your own grim joke. All right, she says. My turn. You've overwhelmed yourself this time. Reality doesn't come back for a long time, but you hear the voice in your dreams. Snow falls. Chapter 4. What they deserved. Your point of view. The bed you wake up in is soft and comfortable. A sweet smell of cinnamon and butterscotch reaches your nose seconds after you wake. Sitting up, you don't feel okay. If you keep using this power, you feel like you're going to die. Of course, you might just be a little melodramatic, but it does hurt, worse than any pain you've ever had. And sometimes you wonder, what's the point of all these people being saved? If Frisk's stories are true, they've reset the timeline over and over. It's a never-ending loop. How can you possibly do anything to go against it? It's all hopeless, but you've never felt this great at the same time. All your life, you've not been able to help others. You've never felt good enough. But these monsters don't treat you like a stupid orphan kid. They need you in a strange way. If you're going to find Frisk, you might as well try and help them, too. Taking it slow, you move out of the bed and nearly step on a plate. The plate has a single slice of butterscotch cinnamon pie. You pick it up and take a small bite. In all your life, you've never tasted anything so amazing. You save the rest for later, setting the plate to the side. There are some warm clothes for you beside the pie. You put on some jeans, a white shirt, and the boots beside it. A purple jacket is also there. You put it on. It reminds you of your soul color. A hat and mittens as well, but you don't put those on. With a small smile on your face, you explore the room. There's some children's shoes in a dresser, and a dusty photograph. There's a photograph on the wall of a golden flower, one a lot like the flower you saw at the beginning. There's a small knock at the door. Toriel pokes her head in. How are you feeling? She asks with a kind smile. You really like Toriel. She seems genuine, like all the other monsters you've met so far. It's interesting. You can't recall any fully genuine people in your life other than Hayne and Frisk. But it's starting to sound like Frisk isn't as genuine as you once believed. The thought makes your mildly good mood plummet. You have to save your friend. Frisk would do it for you, wouldn't they? I'm okay, you say. I have to get moving, though. Yes, I have a bad feeling that there are many others that need your help, my child. She motions for you to follow her. You comply, and she takes you to her room. Toriel gives you a backpack, a cell phone, and a Tupperware full of butterscotch cinnamon pie. You smile with delight, but it quickly falls. Aren't you coming with me? You look up at her. She shakes her head sadly. My place is here, in the ruins. But I'd like to ask you a favor, child. Can you please check on someone for me? You know immediately who she's talking about. The man with the soothing voice. The joke master. Sure. How do I find him? Toriel looks at the ground, embarrassed. You give her a patient smile. Have you never actually met him before? No. How did you know? She laughs and smiles. He has a nice voice. When he moves, it sounds like rattling. And he really, really loves jokes. An awkward hungering curiosity opens up inside you. What's his name? You ask, almost too eagerly. It's a good thing that Toriel doesn't notice your sudden curiosity. That'd be awkward. Maybe if you had his name, maybe you could know. I'm sorry. He never told me his name, nor did I give mine to him. She places a hand on your shoulder. You both exit her room and walk down the basement steps. They creak, and you imagine the souls of different humans walking down these same stairs. The hallway is dark and long. Like you're still a kid, you cling to Toriel's hand like it's your life. You reach the end. A dark door, like many you've seen before, stands at the end. You sense that this is a turning point in your journey to find your sister. Letting go of Toriel's hand, you step forward and reach to touch the door. You have to find two things now. Frisk and the Joker. Toriel catches your sleeve. You two exchange a hug. You're the first to pull away. Goodbye, Tori, you say. I'm sorry I couldn't have stayed longer, but I'll find your Joker, okay? Please keep him safe, she says. Do you promise to keep him safe? Toriel obviously cares about him. You nod and shake her hand. I promise, you say, forgetting that promises are hard to keep. Hayne taught you never to make a promise, but you never promised that you wouldn't make a promise. Wow, what a tongue twister. But hopefully this is a promise you can keep. Turning, you exit the ruins. The door slams shut tightly after you. It's scary to think you can never go back. The first thing you notice when you leave is the snow. It's everywhere. You begin to shake. You weren't ready to be subjected to cold right away. Why it's your worst fear you'll never really know. The nightmares are awful. When you think of cold, you think of death. You think of dying alone in a snowstorm, just like the dreams. Your brain comes to a halt. The wind picks up. You trudge through the snow. The hat and mittens are taken out of your bag and put on, but it's still freezing. The cold is seeping into you. You wonder if the nightmares are going to come true before you can do anything to help the other monsters. Hello? Is anyone out there? A small squeaky voice comes from under a snowdrift. Even though you're freezing, you get on your hands and knees and begin to dig. A small yellow head pops out. He's like a mini dinosaur. You pull him out of the snow. He's warm. How, though? He was submerged in snow. Maybe monsters are a bit different in that, too. I'm Robin, you say. He boops your face with his little snout and squirms a bunch. You notice that he doesn't have arms. You set him down. Hi, are you trying to get into Snowden? I was out looking for everyone, but nobody's home. It's like Snowden is completely empty. Wanna see? He looks so happy, even though you know that Snowden is most likely empty because everyone is dead. A fierce sadness enters you. Maybe it's the snow. Maybe it's the feeling of helplessness. Wherever you go, Frisk is already gone. How are you supposed to catch up? You open your mouth to the little monster kid about the reason why everyone is gone, but he's already scrambling across the barren landscape and heading towards some light in the distance. The snow is slowing down a little, but not much. You're still feeling a little shaky, not really right in the head. Everything is eerie as you walk, just like how the ruins were. Ashes aren't present, though. You feel panicky. How are you supposed to bring monsters back if you don't have the remains? You'd have to touch something they touched. But still, would that even work? The monster exclaims excitedly. A small thing is fished out of the ground. You notice that it's a strange crossword. You take it and laugh. This thing looks like a piece of cake. Monster Kid sees you laugh, and this makes him laugh too. You both smile at each other. You forget momentarily about the snow that surrounds you and the death of all the monsters. Lead the way, you exclaim. He jumps up and down and scurries off. For a second he falls, and his snout is buried in the snow. Worriedly, you move to help him, but he's already up and running a second later. Without arms, he must go through that a lot. You have to jog to catch up to him. When you enter Snowdon, the first thing you feel is fear. Monster Kid seems oblivious to the feel of the place, however. He runs off and starts interacting with a snowman next to a Christmas tree. It looks like there used to be presents under the tree, but now they're torn up and broken. There's something raw about this place. It's even emptier than the ruins. You wonder if you can access memories by touching objects. It seems like you might have to save the other monsters through objects, so you give it a shot. There's a leash on the ground. You reach forward and touch the leash. There's a bunny, walking a smaller bunny. She looks across the road. She does not realize that the small kid that's coming towards her is going to kill her. Frisk's smile is cold and dark. The bunny reaches forward to say hello, and Frisk plunges the knife into her chest. The smaller bunny on the leash tries to run, but Frisk kills that too. A sick smile is on their face. Their eyes look red. They look like a completely different person. They watch as the bunny turns to ash, the same smile on their face. But when they hear movement close by, they leave. Frisk looks around to see if anyone spotted them, then slips into the woods to hide. You let out a shaky breath and pull away from the memories. Why would Frisk kill the bunny lady? Did they have good reason? Or is that even Frisk? Smiling when they hurt someone? That isn't the Frisk you know. You stand up, noticing Monster Kid is watching you worriedly. I'm okay, you say with a smile. Don't worry. Do you know if there's anyone around here? He frowns and shakes his head. Not even the skeletons are here anymore. Or Undyne. You tip your head to the side. Skeletons? Undyne? You're interested in all of the new monsters. You want to meet them all. Hopefully you can revive the skeletons soon. And Undyne if she's around as well. You decide to start with the skeletons, though. What about the skeletons? You ask. Can you tell me their names? Where I might find them? Just a little more information would be nice. Monster Kid nods excitedly. There's two. They're super nice. Not as cool as Undyne, but cool. There's two. I haven't seen any other skeletons, except once, but I never saw him again. The two live in the house over there. He points towards a cute house near the end of Snowdon. You start to walk toward it, Monster Kid at your side. What are they like? One's really loud and nice. His name is Papyrus. He always talks in a shout, like this! Monster Kid mimics Papyrus, making you double over laughing. This kid is a real cutie. What about the other one? Monster Kid's excitement falters, but he continues. His name is Sans. He likes jokes. You stand rigid. He's kind of quiet when he's not joking around. He's a real prankster. He also likes to hang around the door to the ruins. You gasp and scoop Monster up with a cheer. You have a name for the Joker. Finally. Sans. Sans the skeleton. Kiddo, we have to find Sans. Monster Kid nods. You two walk up the small steps of the skeleton's house. The door is wide open. You walk through nervously. There's random shit lying everywhere. A pet rock on the table, a sock on the ground with some sticky notes. You read them with a smile. These two seem really funny. Sans seems very laid back, while Papyrus is very upfront and excitable. Monster Kid follows nervously. You walk up the stairs. You look at the first door. It's unlocked, so you open it and peek inside. For a second, you feel bad for snooping around, but realize that this is to help them. There's a note left on the ground in the middle of the floor. It's to Papyrus, from Sans. This must be Papyrus's room, then. You pick up the note as the little Monster Kid noses around. Hey, Pap. I've been having these dreams lately. Well, we're all going to die. That's it. I'm leaving because of that. I can't stand to see you die again and not be able to stop it. Goodbye, Sans. You pull away, frustrated. You already care about the stupid skeleton. And right now you don't need the past, you need the future to know where he is. Unfortunately, this isn't part of your power. You feel helpless. Miss Robin, I see a blue light over the top of the trees. Monster Kid, you notice, had left the room. He's peeking out of a window next to a room. You don't have time to explore Sans' room yet, but you will. You wonder if Sans is still alive. What's that way? You ask Monster Kid. The path to Waterfall, he says. There's a little bit more of Snowdon and then some caves. You tramp downstairs. Monster Kid follows you like a ghost. Do you mind if I go check it out and you stay here? You can already sense the pain coming from that area. Whatever's happening, it must be awful. Is Frisk there? Or Sans? Or Papyrus? You turn on a show for the Monster Kid. There's a strange robot on TV. If he had arms, you're sure that Monster Kid would be cheering and clapping. I'd rather stay here and watch Mettaton any day. You smile, pat his head, and leave. This time, you steal a blue scarf from Papyrus's room. You wonder if it's Sans's. Blue doesn't seem like Papyrus's color, after all the red you saw in his room. The scarf smells good and keeps your face warm. As you walk, a snowstorm rolls in. Snow pounds down. You can barely see anything at this point. A panic attack is coming on. You can feel it. This is like your dreams now, full-fledged. The blue light, the snow. But what keeps you focused is the blue light. It's brighter as you draw near. And suddenly, the snow lets up. You see Sans for the first time.